Experience the breathtaking nuance of our next-gen sensor technology and use your acoustic kit to explore the endless possibilities of digital music. With sensory percussion, if you can imagine it, you can play it.
Welcome back to the Drum Rundown. We're here today in Nashville, Tennessee at Brooklyn Bowl, and I am here with the legendary drummer of the legendary band Exodus, Tom Hunting. What is going on, dude?
Just happy to be out here. Happy to be with you guys today.
Dude, it is such a pleasure to sit down with you, man. This is incredible.
What
a time.
I could nerd out on drums like anytime.
Which is great. So we're going to get right into it, right? Because we got a lot to talk about. The first thing I wanted to say is, obviously you were at like kind of ground zero of the genesis of an entire genre, which spawned so many other things. So you were pulling a lot of influences from,
Definitely.
We've talked about Heart.
Yes.
We talked about
Michael
Iron
DeRozier.
Maiden, stuff like that. A lot
of
punk and stuff.
Yeah.
What kind of early in those times informed some of the gear that you chose? Was there somebody you were like, that's the thing that I want to play?
When I went to see AC/DC on the Back in Black tour in 1980, used to be able to buy like tour programs back then.
Yeah.
So I bought that. I bought theirs, and it said, you know, Phil Rudd uses rock hi-hats. So I was like, Mom, could I have a pair of rock hi-hats for Christmas? And she obliged.
Cool.
I got them. I still have the cymbals. So.
That's incredible, man.
I broke the top one, but I just flipped them over, and yeah, I broke 2 sets of them.
Yeah.
I have 2 sets of them where the top cymbal's broken, and I just flipped them over.
Yeah, and to come full circle, there's some kid sitting around going, what does Tom of Exodus play? Which is why we're here today, so let's get into it. You said you wanted to nerd out about Yamaha all day. We'll start there. Yamaha, this is a beautiful kit, man.
I've been a Yamaha guy. We were making our second record in 1987, and I went to Drum World in San Francisco. And I was set out to get Sonar Babinga drums.
Okay.
And I went in there, and they had a banana yellow. They didn't have any Sonars, but they had a banana yellow Yamaha recording series. And I walked up to the kick drum and went, and that's what I wanted.
That's it.
That's what I've wanted ever since. And like, they're a great company. Their drums are just fantastic. Like it's just been the base of my sound for so long now. And I got the Oak Customs on this tour.
Okay.
At home, I have my original RCs, and I have a set of live Oak Customs. And I got a maple snare. This one's a stainless steel snare. The hardware is killer.
And so you were talking about the oak. Do you know how many plies on these?
Let's count them.
Let's count them, dude. Right?
I don't know. They're pretty heavy drums.
Yeah,
so,
they're nice and heavy. And in terms of sizes, run us around the tom sizes for the
on this tour, I have a 12, 13, 14, 16, 18, 222s, and a stainless 14 by 6 1/4.
Yeah, that's still tough, man. Those are the sizes, right?
Yeah.
Just iconic.
Sometimes I go with a 10, but as I'm getting older, I like a nice big drum to hit, so I don't have to target it. You know? Yeah. A 10 becomes an 8.5 with a microphone on it. Honestly.
Hey, that's very true, right? You kind of, and you were saying you've got these SEs up, which are kind of getting it done for you. They're very cool.
The SEs are killer.
Man, just the line check. This thing is a monster. Just such punch out of this thing.
Yeah.
So
and they're solid. I like the mountings of them. They're so like, they don't move, even when I hit them. And you know, like I said, I'm pretty inaccurate, so I hit them once in a while.
They're floating nice with the toms. It's a very cool setup. So in terms of punch and bang, you're getting them out of these Evans G2, the clears.
Yes.
What do you got on the bottom? What's on the resonant head?
Just I guess the resonant side, the black resonant ones. Single ply. Sometimes I alternate and go with the other tom head. EC2s.
Yeah.
I find that the G2s have a little more attack, which is perfect for thrash metal.
Right.
Because you want something to like get in and get out, you know, and hit hard.
It's a very nuanced genre, right? There's a lot of...
You know, like, I mean, the cymbals too. Like, you could get, you know, a 20-inch killer crash and hit it, and it's going to go whoosh, and it's going to shimmer and ring and sound beautiful, almost gong-like. But for thrash metal, you need whoosh.
Right.
You got to get in and get out because you're like competing with, you know.
Yeah. We call it a frequency knife fight, right? There's a lot of like space that you're vying for in a loud thrash band.
I've been in that fight since I was probably 13 now.
Yeah. And how has that informed your gear choices beyond kind of like, you need punch, quick attack, short release? Like, is there certain things that you're looking for, like sonically?
Well, sonically, like in the studio, you could go with the bigger shimmery cymbals and they can mix all that perfectly. But for live, the Meinl Classics are great for getting in and, just whoosh, like a quick hit. Not even their biggest line, like the Byzance China is killer for recording, but like I find that the Classic's better for live because it like gets in there and it keeps right up with the the guitar frequencies and stuff.
And that's cool, right? Because we always talk about you go into the studio to make a record, you're able to audition stuff, and you kind of know that it's going to play differently under the microscope that is a microphone, and you can kind of play. But getting it done live, night to night, we're going with this setup. So let's just go ahead and go around the horn because there's a lot of Meinl stuff to get in.
Okay.
We got the Byzance series here. What is this guy?
It's a heavy hammered ride. It's not like a death metal cymbal, but it's got like, got a nice bell.
That bell is awesome.
Yeah, it's really cool. And it's not even like the super crazy bell, but it's got good tone.
Nice.
This one, I use the Byzance at home, and sometimes they had an MB8, like one of their low line cymbals years back, and I use that exclusively live because it had the right, know. But I like the Classic. The Classic one, like I think I'm experiencing hearing loss in the left ear now. For sound checking with this one on this tour.
Because it's a monster.
It's just like it's ridiculous. It's almost obscene.
And then we're going with another explosive right here.
Classic 14. Perfect for metal. Perfect for anything really. And then over here I got Soundcasters, 13-inch. They're a little bit more crispy,
Oh, man.
For like,
those are so good.
Yeah, it's
the sizzle on those
shimmery.
is interesting.
They got it.
Awesome.
And then I use Byzance are a little more quieter. So like for thrash, for a live concert, I prefer the Classics.
Okay.
And then a mix of crashes.
What's up in crash land up there?
I think the most important crash is this 19-inch Classic that I use because I'm into it a lot, and like I'm left-handed drummer, so like most of the things I do, the fancy stuff or riding, I ride this one a lot. So I've been prone to break a few, but now that I'm older and I don't hit as hard anymore, I get a little more life out of them.
Yeah, that's good. Perfect time to save a little cash,
over the years, you figure out how to, like graze them and not just,
That's interesting, right? To talk about like stick dynamics and kind of stuff like that as you play this like, traditionally brutal, kind of like brutally fast, brutally heavy hitting stuff.
But if you hit the cymbal harder than its maximum output, I guess, sensitivities, it gets lost too.
There's diminishing returns, right? You can hit it too hard where it doesn't do what it's meant to do.
And I keep them tight because like some of the cymbal hits in our music are so fast, I can't have that thing going like this, because I'll be hitting it again like probably a millisecond later.
Right, and you're trying to anticipate the bounce back, right? So you're just playing it tight so that it's just right where you need it to be.
I mean, loose cymbals are great for like Rock Candy.
Yeah.
Like Danny Carmassi, another badass.
And that's a great way to transition into sticks because your sticks are not certainly super chewed up.
No, well, this is a brand new pair, Vic Firth 5As. I used to use the SD3 Thunder stick when I was about 19. Then like I went to 2Bs and then down, and then 5Bs, and now I'm at a 5A. It's comfortable. I could throw them around.
Way to go down.
I could throw them around quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah. The next step would be a jazz stick, and.
You think you get away with a jazz stick in thrash metal?
Yeah. I mean, I could do it, but yeah, it wouldn't be popular.
Right. Well, I love that you brought up that you're left-handed because I think you're the first official left-handed drummer that we've had on the show.
Really?
Yeah, which is kind of cool. So talk to me about what it's like being in a world of righties as a left-handed drummer.
Well, you don't have to worry about anybody like coming up and like trying to like
that's the
jump
thing,
on your
right?
drums.
Nobody's gonna sit down and play on you. Yeah, it's like playing a left-handed guitar. Nobody's gonna pick it up and noodle on it.
But here's the thing: Yamaha was making a new bass drum to hi-hat attachment. So this is their old one. It's pretty practical. It's not crazy and bulky like some of them. So you could zoom in on this later. But they brought these prototypes. They're very involved. Like the artists are very involved with anything that they build. They like they do prototype sessions. They do countless hours of like videoing people trying out stuff, drums too, and they take all of that data and compile it, and the majority wins. That's the model they go with.
All right.
So like, I mean, I've sat on, they were making the Live Oak Custom Series, and I sat on 4 kits that were all built in the same place, tuned the same sizes, and he's like, pick the best. I'm like, I don't know, I like the kick drum on that. He's like, you gotta pick one. And they wouldn't let me out of there. It went on for hours. And they do it with hardware too. So this thing they built wouldn't work on a left-handed kit originally.
Okay.
They did some hardware prototype sessions in Northern California, and I was the last guy to get on it. Mike Borden was there, a couple other guys, some jazz guys, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna simulate a left-handed kit and what I need this piece to do, and it wouldn't work in a left-handed configuration. So they were like, you know, I blew up the drawing board. They went back to the drawing board and they figured it out. And
so they come up with this, and what was the fix?
I really couldn't tell you what the fix was. This was like 4 or 5 years ago, and I don't remember. I don't even remember but it was like the wing nut situation would not function on a left-handed kit, so they made it better.
Yeah.
So thanks, Yamaha. Appreciate you.
And thanks for asking for Tom's input on that.
Yeah.
That's cool. And speaking of Yamaha hardware, I see 2 single pedals, which I'm sure will make the viewers at home very happy.
Yeah.
Playing double kick.
Yeah.
2 single pedals.
I should probably graduate.
The monster that you are.
Yeah, I like simple pedals. You know, I grew up playing on Speed Kings.
Yeah.
So like, and I mess around with some fancy like just straight up mechanical pedals without the chain, and I don't know. I'm kind of the direct drive stuff, and I'm kind of used to like a little bit of resistance.
Yeah.
You know. And I tried scooting the beaters closer to the head, and I'm like back in the day, I remember they used to hit the tops of my feet. You know, they would be back so far on some of the old pedals.
Yeah,
but
too much of the backswing.
This is an older set of Yamaha pedals. Like drummers that play any double bass, I'm sure to a man could tell you, or a woman could tell you, that they're very superstitious about pedals, shoes, socks, anything to do with lower region. Like you don't defer. It's kind of like Patrick Mahomes in his underwear or whatever. He doesn't change it until he loses. Or
so what's your superstition? What's your thing? What do you have to have? Do you have any of that?
Asics shoes.
There it is.
For sure. And I just try to like breathe and dig in, you know.
The tape, is the tape?
It's just like a
tape is the thing.
You know, your regular skateboard tape.
But without it doesn't feel right.
We play a lot of like steamy thrash gigs where like the crowd's right there, and sometimes there's condensation in the air, and if it gets on the pedals, I'm slipping around. So.
But skate tape, what a brilliant like fix for that problem. That's super rad.
Me and Charlie Bonanni started doing it in the 80s, and I don't know if I stole it from him or he stole it from me. We would steal a lot of things from each other.
Right.
But and it's a killer idea. It works great. And some of the new pedal, it seems like they would make a pedal with more grip on the platform, but it seems like they're making it more slippery.
Yeah, right. Just like slick stainless steel, like no texture at all.
And it's so they can embroider their brand and like make it jump.
Yeah,
you know?
which I know they're striking. They're visually awesome.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So the last thing we got to talk about here is the snare drum.
It's my favorite drum on the kit, and I have a bunch of Yamaha snares. I have the Anton Fig. Funny thing about the Fig is my band members say if they ever met Anton Fig, they want to punch him because of their own hearing loss. But this one's a stainless, 6.5 by 14, and I was at NAMM and I played the I guess the 5-inch version of this, and I loved it. And then I hit the 6.5, and I'm like, I've never had a deep snare drum.
Beefy.
Until now.
So awesome.
Yeah, I've always been like I always gone with the 5-inch one because of the crack.
Right.
And this one's kind of got both.
Yeah, and you're getting a lot of crack out of that head. What's that batter head for everybody back home?
It's just an EC2 reverse dot Evans.
Very cool.
With a couple of Meinl Moon gels on it. Yeah.
A little hazy, hazy snare.
I like the heavyweights too, and the HDs are killer too. The dries.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very cool.
I like the dries because you don't have to muffle them at all.
Yeah, and you're just being a little tasty with some overtone control with a little moon gel.
And this setup proves to be durable on the road, so you can get like 7 gigs out of a snare head. So
that's a lot of gigs for a thrash metal band out of a snare head.
Well,
reinforcement dot.
I'm not hitting as hard as I used to.
Yeah.
Smaller sticks.
With time comes wisdom, I guess.
Yes.
Cool. Well,
you have to figure out how to get in and get out,
Right. And well, thank you for downloading us on your wisdom and everything you've learned over the years. And thank you for being such an inspiration. And speaking of getting in and getting out, we're going to get out because this has been the Drum Rundown. We've been here with Tom Hunting of the legendary thrash metal band Exodus. We will see you all on the next one.
My pleasure. Thank you.